most potential.
Cool.
Because he's the only one that actually tries to play you, and like he doesn't have a gimmick.
He plays some pretty.
He plays melee, dude.
Some
Look
pretty
at him.
honest melee.
Look at him. He's not. Look at that. He could have just down smashed, and he didn't. Look at that. He could have down smashed there, and he didn't.
He probably should have down smashed there, to be honest.
Right, but like my point is that he's not trying to succumb to doing like the easy like instant option.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of like the straight up beat you kind of option.
Yeah, that's the foundation you want too. Because some people have to kind of find their bearings over like, all right, this isn't getting me far anymore. Like, how do I get past this point? And
Exactly.
then they have a huge valley to go into the next stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, you know, example of a good down smash.
Yeah.
Important edge guard too. We'll see how that goes the whole match because it's like inevitable that Peach is gonna have to do that edge guard against Sheik, and that's something that kind of defines Peaches at this level. Is can they actually edge guard you consistently?
Right.
So that was only one. You didn't have to rinse and repeat that many times, but I think PlataNO's gonna hold it down, and Emil doing his own just important skill.
Yeah.
Is
No. I wasn't talking. Yeah.
He, Emil, you know,
Yeah,
picked up the grab at the high percent and ended it.
Yeah.
Which
Wait,
one? I prefer mine a little louder.
All right here is good for me. Actually, let me put me right
don't
there.
don't touch my volume.
I know.
As if you know what I need.
Okay, perfect for. All right, this is perfect.
That was the perfect exercise of self and other.
Yes.
So actually, when you said that, what it made me think of is like the ideas of understanding that there is another person with their own desires and needs, and not just a replica of you with this. Like, there's people have different
and the
ideas
other
of
thing,
melee.
or
Yeah, no,
yeah,
like,
or the way he's playing melee.
I guess everyone. I mean, the concept applies universally to every
Right.
match. But when you said that, I thought of how, you know, I needed to realize that people play melee. Everyone plays melee differently. It's the idea of playing the person versus the character. You know, that's been explored for so long. But in the concept of yourself versus this person.
Ooh, sniped.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if it was even necessary. Definitely cool though.
Yeah.
I love. Those are the best turnips.
Yeah, learning about it's interesting. Like, I think I've talked to you before about how there are, like, I don't appreciate every character, for example.
Yikes. Yeah.
Because there's certain qualities of certain characters that, like, that are just part of the character that are just, like, to me, like, I'm not, like, quite so, like, on G Money level or DJ Nintendo level when I talk about crouch canceling. But, like, if someone literally only sits there and crouch cancels, I mean, and I get frustrated with that concept. Sometimes, instead of just, you know, doing the right thing, which is just getting like, looking inward.
Yeah.
Right? And recognizing that I'm doing something wrong that's allowing this stupid option to work on me.
Okay.
Right? Versus...
Ooh, that was a good tech chase up to that point. Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
Versus, is it the other person's fault for just being a cheeser? Or is it me for allowing myself to get cheesed, enabling them to be a cheeser? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, both. Sounds like both of those things are a little your fault and a little their. I guess like you can't really fault someone for the way they play.
You can't fault them at all, which is why it's about look. Ooh,
Wow.
I guess you thought he was going to grab ledge.
Yeah.
Which is why you have to look inward in those situations.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah.
I think that's a really important concept to think about.
It's true, man. It's all about training yourself.
Oh, he's got a combo. That's 54.
Like, he could have done like a weak back air landed. I don't know.
Yeah, but he got stage control. I like the idea to just keep it safe. To get your combo. That was a hefty combo. No need to risk giving that percent back.
It's true. It's
Last
true.
stock too. I like it. I like the safe play. And I think that defines Emil a lot. Is his decision making has always been really, really good.
I think it's pretty good. Like, I always find that he's got a very grind out kind of way of playing. I've never experienced. Ooh, I guess he just kind of didn't want to do anything.
That was really slick.
Yeah. Emil doesn't really. It's interesting. So Emil thinks that I'm better than him. I think he's better than me.
Okay.
And when he plays against players that are way better than him, he doesn't like falter the way that he plays. He doesn't give it up, right? He still plays his game, and he's consistent with how he does against those people.
Word.
Like, as opposed to someone who's a little more fluctuant in their play, like myself, because I'm bad.
Okay.
I might.
You guys got a Canadian standoff situation. It's too bad.
Yeah, right. I might do like okay
Uh-huh.
versus someone who's way better than me, and then the next game I would just like, get destroyed. But he'll always like get like 1 stock or 2 stock. Well, I'll like sometimes get 1 stock, and sometimes get like 3 stock.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Defining skill by how bad you lose is pretty funny.
That's it. Yeah, you know, it's just more of like it all comes back to the same crisis, you know, or the same like existential thought. Learning about the world through experiences relative to other people or through yourself.
Well, it's so hard to think of Melee as anything else.
It's all through yourself.
It's entirely through. Well, I disagree, man. I think the value of someone is because of the competitive, because it's a competition.
Right.
It's not something with objective skills. It's just, did you beat that person or not? How often do you beat people? How often do you lose to people? That's how power ranking's done. That's how Melee at Omni ranking's done. I mean, it's not really good to decipher, like, I guess, true skill if you think of that as its own, like, platonic idea of the ultimate, truth and all that. But
right.
when it comes to anything that's tangible, it has to be through other people because it's a competition. It's tough because you don't like to think of it that way.
Well, the thing is, you know, it's interesting. For a while, like, I'll come back to this concept every now and then, but I'll sometimes think of Melee as a single-player game.
Huh.
Because ultimately, you have no one to blame but yourself if you get hit by something. So it's really just like a single-player game with, like, you can... What's cool is that you learn to, like, read the emotion of the player and, like, all that kind of stuff through their play.
Huh.
But on some level, it kind of is a single-player game because you have no one to blame but yourself for ever getting hit.
Yeah, you can only control what you do.
Exactly. So on one level, Melee kind of is a single-player game, and I think the people who are best at the single-player game of Melee, not like adventure mode and stuff, but like the single-player versus mode, those are the ones that are most successful. Like, I feel like the way like Armada plays is as though it's like a single-player game.
Yeah, and it's also keeping your own, consistency and your own mentality in check. That is entirely you. Unless someone's coming around sabotaging you or saying things to you that mess with your psyche, it's all about how you handle your own tournament experience. So I would totally agree. I wouldn't say it is a single-player game. I would say that it's like, I would kind of put it on a spectrum. I would say like 80% of it is single-player, and then you still have like conditioning and things that are like, more multiplayer than single. But yeah, I totally agree, man. It's all within your control.
It's true. And even like, let's say you're getting conditioned, right? There are like types of conditioning where it's either like maybe the first time they do it, the first time they punish you for the way that they're conditioning you, like, I don't know, let's say it's a Falcon down throw tech chasing Fox, right? And he down throw knees in place constantly, right? He's trying to condition the Fox to tech away, right? So then eventually you tech away, but it's like, how long are you going to take to realize that this guy is like setting this other thing up? You know what I mean?
Well, he might change it up
or
at the last minute and not even tell you. I mean,
that's
the thing. It's like it's
also
such an open-ended question.
But it's also, how long is it going to take you to realize that you're caught in a loop on some level? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. That it's your habits being exploited, not yeah.
It's hard, man.
Yeah,
it's such a hard game. There's so many variables.
There's no answer to so many questions. But that's why I think a lot of people find comfort in frame data and solutions to problems. Saying if someone, if I get hit on shield in this, what are my objective options that theoretically work? Yeah.
Yeah.
And because there's answers. It's math.
Yeah.
So there are other people.
That's like the single player version of the game.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like, oh wow, he's got a stitch. If he can hold on to this, he's got a stitch. I think Emil is incredibly good with. Oh wait, he's still Zelda.
He's
I was gonna say with.
Oh my God, it was a bait.
He like taunted him. Oh shoot, I didn't do the timer.
Oh.
Can we start the timer now? Okay.
Yeah, let's just.
I'm gonna start at 3. All right. Right at the end of the first match. I press.